Okay, so I've got some Sculpey Primo translucent that I'm gonna mix with the green glow in the dark. And then I've got some Cernit translucent that I'm gonna mix with the purple photochromic. I've found that the Cernit translucent seems to work better with the day colors, and you need a lot more of the day powder than you do the glow in the dark powder. So I'll show you how I mix it up. So I sprinkle a little bit on the clay, rub it in, and then put it through my pasta machine. Okay, now right away it's gonna not want to stick together a lot. And it'll start to have like discoloration as the pigment kind of works its way through. And as soon as it looks like it's blended in, add some more. And I'll probably do this about 5 times. With the ones that glow in the day, you need to do it like 10 times in order for it to really show up. So see how the powder inside is making it so it doesn't stick to itself, but just keep going and it will eventually. So it will do like things like that. If you have any left on your work surface, you can literally just take your clay, go like that and mop it up with the clay. Okay, so I'll do that about 5 times. So this clay is quite fine, the glow in the dark. Let me show you what the day one looks like. So the day powder is even finer. It doesn't have, this one has a little bit of a grit to it. This is more like talcum powder. It's like very, very fluffy and soft. So it doesn't sink in as much as the other one does. It's almost kind of looks like baby powder. So you're gonna have to tap it off and you're gonna have to really mop some of it up with the clay. And I've found that the Cernit does this. It kind of like really, like this is super thin. It's just kind of coming apart a bit, but it does work. It does come back together and then I just go like this and mop some up, do it again. And I just keep doing that process. And sometimes it gets really tattered looking, but it's definitely a trust the process kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna keep mixing these until they're ready and then we'll start making a cane with them. Okay, so this is the second time I'm filming this because my first cane did not turn out how I wanted it to. The photochromic, the day colors just weren't showing up in the pattern enough because I didn't make the pieces big enough. So I've switched it up and I'm going with fluorescent yellow, fluorescent pink, which will glow at night but also show up during the day, and then the day blue and the glow aqua. So I've mixed all of these up, switching up my pattern to make it, I was thinking less complicated or less tiny pieces. So I'm going to try and make these big and hopefully everything shows up a bit more. Okay, so my plan is to just create some concentric circles. So I'm going to have black in the centers and then just keep rolling it in a color and then roll it again in a color to make some kind of bullseye canes and then turn them into teardrops and then fill in with other bits and pieces. So I'm going to start by making some black little cylinders, I suppose. Okay, so I've rolled my black out and I've cut it into 5 2-inch sections. The first one, I'm going to set these aside. The first one I'm going to wrap in the glow in the dark aqua and then I'm going to wrap it in a bunch of pink. Got our aqua here. I'm just going to roll it a few times. My clay's rolled out on a setting 2, but I want this to be fairly thick and I think that will work. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap it in the pink, and then I'm going to turn it into a teardrop. I'm not worried about the messy ends because as I reduce everything, it's going to get a little bit messy anyway. I might do a little bit more here so it's even. think I'm going to reduce the size of the black pieces for the rest of them. I think that looks like a little bit too intense black. It's going to overpower. Okay, so that's that one. Now I'm going to take it, where the clay, the pink clay is just a little bit less prominent. I've got a little bit extra up here. So I'm going to turn this into a teardrop by just pinching at one end. And push down every once in a while to keep the ends as neat as I can keep them. Okay, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of pink over here. Just want it to be as evenly spaced as I can make it. That's good for that one. I'm going to do the same process with pink and yellow, the yellow and teal. Okay, so we've got our aqua and pink teardrop. I realized afterwards that I meant to wrap each color in black first, just to kind of give a little bit of separation to the colors. So you can kind of, I had to cut off all the pink and add the black and then re-add the pink. Menopause brain makes everything so much more difficult. Okay, so we've got that one, and then I've got two of the pink and yellow with the black around, and they're gonna sit there. And then these two just solid pink teardrops are going to sit there. And then this is the aqua for the top, and then I've got black with yellow, and then I'm going to wrap this one in the aqua as well. So that's what we're working with so far. And then I'm just going to make some circles out of the blue, I believe, and then wrap everything again in black, and then we'll see where we're at. So first, let's wrap this in the yellow, or sorry, we'll wrap the yellow in the aqua. I mean, technically, I'm just continuing to roll. If you wanted this to be super, super smooth, you'd roll once and then do it again, so you didn't have that one area that had a little bit of overlap. But I'm not overly concerned. I don't think that you'll be able to really see it in the finished product. I think I'm going to wrap this a couple more times in aqua, though. Yeah, I figure as long as it looks roughly even all the way around, we should be okay. Okay, so I'm going to turn this one into a teardrop and then wrap everything in black. You definitely don't need to make everything this big. This is going to turn into quite a large cane, but I just wanted to start off with big pieces so that I could reduce it quite small and not lose my pattern. Okay, is that the same height as everything else? About. Okay, might need to make this one just a little bit taller. Okay, so now I'm gonna wrap everything in black. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is so overkill. This is way larger than I had intended to make it, but it is what it is now. So we're gonna keep going. So I'm going to wrap these last two. This is the glow-in-the-dark aqua that I just made into a teardrop and then cut in half. So I'm gonna wrap it in black as well. Pinch this end quite tightly. Trim that off like that, and then we'll do this one. Okay, and this one is going to go here. Okay, so now we can start kind of slowly putting it together. This is going to be my point. And then let's pinch these a little bit tighter so they can fit in there. And then we'll kind of fill it in with the blue. This cane had better turn out really nice because this is a lot of clay that I've used now. So it has to turn out. Okay, this one's going to go here. This is a little bit higher. Let's squish this one down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna make this guy a little bit smaller, I think. I'm gonna reduce him down and then I can use some of it for a different project. So I'll just move these a little bit up here so you can see. Okay, so I'm just reducing, going from side to side and just making him a little bit smaller. Okay, that should probably be good. Let's trim off the ends here. Okay, so we'll use this in something else later. Okay. I forgot to put some black around that yellow. Ah, shoot. Oh well. It's done now. Okay, I'm going to take some of this day blue, roll it into a log, and then form it into a triangle and fill in some of these little gaps. Okay, just going to pinch the top of it while pushing down to create a triangle, and then we'll use this to fill in a bunch of the little spaces and then keep adding the rest of the pieces. Okay, so let's chop off a piece to fit in here. And on the other side. Okay, and then a piece here and here. I'm going to pinch this a little bit thinner. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's just trim off the top there. Okay, one on this side. Okay, let's see where this goes and we'll kind of fill in around it. Might wrap this in a couple sheets of the blue itself and then you won't have to fill in quite as much. there. So we need some in here and here. How far in do these sit? We need just a little bit in here and in here. I think I'm going to cut it off here and try and make it a square like that. Okay, let's see if that will fit in there. Okay, let's pop these guys in. Okay, I'm thinking I might cut, this one was going to be this teal piece up at the top, but I think I'm going to cut it in half and kind of put it here and here. Okay, so let's just fill in. Can I pick this sucker up to fill it in? Okay, so we're gonna fill in all of these little bits. I'm just gonna pinch it off. Filling in these last couple spots, and then we can start to reduce, which will take me a while. Okay. I think I'm going to do a black corner over here. Okay, we've got a very rough square. I mean, it's at least similar. It looks different. It looks so different because you can't see the glow of some of the colors. All right, well, I am going to attempt to reduce this. It's going to take me a long while. I'll get it started and then I'll come back and kind of show you the progress and what I'm doing, but it's going to take me a little bit even to make some progress. I'm basically just going to start by doing this quite a few times and make sure to keep pushing on the flat side as well, just so you don't have too much wastage. Okay, once this is a manageable size, I will come back and finish the reducing with you. Okay, so it's much smaller now. I've been going on it for about 10 minutes, just doing this and then rotating, just pushing in with my palms and then rotating again. So I'm just gonna do it a little bit more and then we'll lay it on its side and start reducing it that way. And every once in a while I'll flip it upside down to try and keep the ends as clean as possible. It's starting to get quite soft now from the warmth of my hands, so I just want to be careful that I don't distort it. Okay, so let's turn it on its side now, and I'm just going to take my thumb and finger and just kind of push in and down at the bottom. And you can put your hand on the whatever direction you're moving towards, put your hand there, and that will help reduce all the wastage on the end. This looks like I'm like going like, yeah. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of slowly move up, doing that same squeezing motion. Okay, and then rotate and do the exact same thing. And I tend to alternate which way I go, so I'll go this direction, and then on the next one I'll go the opposite direction. Just trying to minimize as much waste as possible, because this is a lot of clay. So it's got the potential to really warp. So my goal is to get it to about at least 12 inches. Right now it's at 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now it's at 5. Okay, so this is going to take quite a while, so I will come back as soon as this is at least 12 inches. It's looking pretty good though, I like it. Okay, so I've got it to 12 inches, and now I'm going to mark it in 3-inch increments. Okay, let's take a look. It turned out pretty good. I like it. Okay, let's put it together. My plan had been to put it this way. Okay, let's make sure the bottom is also even. Okay, put the other two together. And now put these two together, and then I'm going to reduce it again a little bit. Not a huge amount, but just enough to kind of get them together. And then we'll make a slab out of it and see it in the day and in the dark. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce this just a little bit in the same way that I showed you earlier. And these lines are really nice and straight, which is key in reducing a cane. If you have any kind of marker or line to follow, keeping that straight will definitely ensure that your pattern inside is staying the way you want it. Okay, I'm going to let this rest just a little bit. I might even put it in the fridge for a while before slicing into it, because right now it's very warm, so I think right now it would kind of just, the colors would distort. So I'm going to wait for just a little bit and then we'll cut into it. Okay, so the cane has been resting for a while, so let's cut some slices and make it into a pattern. Got my cane slicer here. Okay, I'm just gonna go over it with my roller just a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna lift it up and move it a little bit more in frame. Okay, and now I'm gonna go over it with a piece of copy paper. And there it is in normal light inside. And let's take it into the dark and outside and see what happens. Okay, so here's what it looks like in the dark, and it'll be even brighter once it's like in black light for a little while. But I love it. I think it looks so cool. Amazing. Okay, let's see what it looks like in the daylight. Okay, it's pretty cloudy out here, so it's not going as bright as I would like it to, but you can definitely see where that like kind of blue is shining in the daylight. And it will be brighter when there's actual sun. Right now it's very, very cloudy out. It was just raining a little while ago, so yeah, I think it was a success. I'm pretty happy with it. Whoop whoop. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I think this turned out really, really well, and I'm kind of glad now that I made it so big, because I think I'm going to make quite a few projects with this. If you're still here, then I appreciate you, and please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying my content. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, there is a link down below called Buy Me a Coffee. It's kind of like a virtual tip jar, and it just really, really helps this channel to continue to bring free content for you. And I appreciate it so very much. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I will see you again soon. Remember to always look for your rainbow, and sending you huge hugs. Bye!